Obituaries are sponsored by Colonial Funeral Home and Stokes Chapel, Fair, Ray, and Perry Spencer Funeral Homes, Boone & Cook Funeral Home and Crematory.
Reynolds McBride Bunny Biggs, 93 of Eden, died Sunday. Arrangements are incomplete at Fair Funeral Home. Funeral services for Betty Ann Williams White Martin, 80 of Mayodan, are today at 2 o'clock at Colonial Funeral Home. Reverend Howard Owens officiating, with interment in Mayodan Municipal Cemetery. The family will receive friends beginning at 1. The service will be streamed live on Facebook. She was born in Rockingham County, retired from Unify Incorporated, and was a member of Amazing Grace Baptist Church. She was preceded in death by husbands Coy White and Posey Wayne Martin. Survivors include children Pamela Cox, Carol Haynes and Gerald, and Terry White, 6 grandchildren, 9 great-grandchildren, sisters Mary Jane Martin, Shirley Cardwell, and Brenda White. The family would like to thank Jackie Brown and Rebecca Brown for their care. Paul Edward Southern, 81 of Mayodan, died December 3rd. The family will receive friends today from 5 until 7 at Colonial Funeral Home. Private funeral services and interment will be held later. He was born in Rockingham County. Survivors include his wife of 60 years, Frances Purdy Southern, children Sherry S. Dunlap, Paul Dean Southern and Amy, Ricky Lee Southern, and Richard William Southern and Willie. 11 grandchildren, several great-grandchildren, and sister Hazel Craddock and Carl. Funeral services for Una Mae Williams Stevens, 90 of Danbury, are tomorrow at 2 o'clock at Colonial Funeral Home, Stokes Chapel, with interment in Snow Creek Primitive Baptist Church Cemetery. She was born in Stokes County, was a member of Northview Primitive Baptist Church, a member of the VFW Ladies Auxiliary and Senior Citizens Organization. She was preceded in death by her husband of 53 years, Glenn Stevens. Surviving are daughters Wanda Gale Smith and James, and Catherine Ann Sapp and Nathan, and 2 grandchildren. Memorials may be made to the Snow Creek Primitive Baptist Church Cemetery Fund. Clara Lee Adkins Wright, 79, died Saturday. Graveside services are tomorrow at 2 o'clock at Mayodan Municipal Cemetery. Pastor Bob Smith officiating. She was of the Baptist faith and retired from Burlington Industries with 22 years of service. Survivors, sons Chester D. Vernon and Carolyn of Virginia, Paul G. Wright and Tammy No of Mayodan, Danny L. Wright and Dawn of Madison, daughters Vanessa V. Dunlap and Frank of Mayodan, and Laura Ann Bullins and Ken of Madison. Brother Carl Adkins Jr. and Kathy of Mayodan, 14 grandchildren, many great-grandchildren, and many great-great-grandchildren. Colonial Funeral Home is serving the family. Graveside services for William Wayne Wall, 85 of Mount Pleasant, will be held Wednesday in Woodland Cemetery, Madison, at 11 o'clock, with military honors by the Rockingham County Honor Guard and North Carolina National Guard. He was born in Walnut Cove, was a veteran of the U.S. Army, serving 3 years in France, Austria, and Germany. He graduated from Drawn's Business College with a degree in accounting and retired from R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company in 1996 with over 30 years of service. He was a member of Hibben United Methodist Church. Surviving are his wife of 62 years, Margaret Leake Wall, son Dr. Barry W. Wall and Tim, and daughter Elizabeth Wall Shaley, Esquire, and Jason, both of Rhode Island, 7 grandchildren, and brother Douglas Wall and Kay. Memorials may be made to Low Country Food Bank. Arrangements by J. Henry Sturr, Mount Pleasant, and Colonial Funeral Home. Dorothy Kerlock, 95 of Eden, died December 4th. The family will have private memorial services tomorrow at Perry Spencer Funeral Home in Eden. Loretta Montgomery, 79, of Cleveland, Ohio, died December 1st. Graveside services are Thursday at 2 at Hairston Family Cemetery, Axton. Perry Spencer Funeral Home in Eden is in charge of arrangements. Frederick Hairston, Jr., 66, of Eden, died December 3rd. Public viewing Thursday, 1 to 7, at Perry Spencer Funeral Home in Eden. The family will have private funeral services. Mary E. Settle, 66, of Stoneville, died December 5th. Public viewing Thursday, 1 to 7, at Perry Spencer Funeral Home, Madison, with graveside services Friday at 2:30. Calvin L. Carter, 82, of Madison, died December 4th. Public viewing will be held Friday from 1 until 7 at Perry Spencer Funeral Home, Madison. The family will have private funeral services. Public viewing for Ernestine Mohammed, 85, of Madison, will be held Friday from 1 until 7 at Perry Spencer Funeral Home in Madison. The family will have private funeral services. Live stream will be available Saturday at 1. Arrangements for Lakeisha McFarland, 41, of Eden, and for Tinkanik Z. Brim, 59, of Martinsville, are incomplete at Perry Spencer Funeral Home in Eden. Graveside services for Adele Rakestraw Barker, 85, are tomorrow at 2 o'clock at Shiloh Primitive Baptist Church Cemetery. She was born in Rockingham County and was a CNA at Bridhaven Nursing Center. Surviving are children Donna Barker of Biscoe and Terry Barker and wife Hazel of Madison, brother Paul Rakestraw of Georgia, sister Judy Ivy of Madison, one grandchild, and 2 great-grandchildren. She was preceded in death by husband William Francis Barker. Visitation Tuesday from 1 until 1:45 at Boone and Cook Funeral Home before going to the graveside, and other times at the home of Robin and Mike Woods, 2nd Street, Eden. In addition to flowers, the family requests donations be made to Oasis Baptist Church, Madison.